Are you happy that Dixie Carter's out of power there? Because I understand you didn't have a good experience.
She had the money. She had as much money, if not more, to compete with Vince than Vince had, with Pan Energy being behind her. Talent. You go through that dressing room, the people they had in that dressing room over the course of time.
More star power at one point than WWE had.
By far. Then you look at the people they had there behind the scenes. You know, a litany of people, knowing what's up and what's down, knowing how to move this company forward. At no time did she ever take any of it that I was ever aware of. She used to come to me, I was the head of talent relations. She used to come to me every week and say, Vince Russo wants to do this in this match. What do you think? And I'd look at it and think, well, I know where the storyline's been. And I'd say, well, if you do that, then you're going to have to turn this guy heel because, and I'd explain it. And then if you don't do that, then 2 weeks down the road, you're going to have to do that. And I would explain the psychology and everything to her. Not one time in 5 years did she ever take my advice. 2 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, we'd come back to do that taping. She would say, you're right. The fans are shitting all over it. To her, that was the 23 people that was on the internet talking about TNA on a blog somewhere. 23, the fans are all shitting on it. Then you'd give that advice to her, and she wouldn't take that advice. The first night, I guess this sums it all up as to why TNA never ever worked. The first night I met Dixie Carter, she was introduced to us. I walked down to the green room after the production meeting, and she followed me into the green room, knocked on the door, and I brought her in, and she said, my father, and she started reciting my resume to me like I didn't know it. And she said, my father's very impressed by what you've accomplished in your career, and he's happy to have you here, and he wants me to ask you for one, if he wanted to ask you for one piece of advice as he's about to start on this, what would be the most important thing you could tell my father? I went, whew, one piece of it, Dixie. I could give you a million pieces of advice. And we started just sitting there talking and bullshitting for a few minutes as I'm thinking in the back of my head, what one piece of advice, one piece. And it finally popped in my head. I thought, if I could only give one piece of advice to your father, the most important piece of advice I could give him would be to in no way, shape, or form try to challenge Vince McMahon right now. Don't try to be the WWF 2, WWF Junior, WWF Light. Be TNA. Be the original TNA. And I said, and then where I made my mistake was, I continued on, I said, like ECW, we went for the 18 to 49 male demographic, while Vince went for the tweeners. And we owned them. And I said, there were less of them, but their money was as green as anybody's. No sooner did I finish that sentence, and here was Dixie Carter's response. Why would we want to copy ECW after all they failed? And no sooner did she finish that sentence, the show had already started, the monitor's behind me. Dixie's standing over here in the doorway, the monitor's behind me. Whatever happened in the arena, the crowd starts chanting, ECW.